Robert is 50 years old. He has $214,000 in his workplace retirement account, $18,000 in cash, and 17 years until the age 67 retirement marker. That balance makes him feel safer than he is, not because $214,000 is nothing, and not because Robert failed. He followed the number his dashboard made easiest to see. But a retirement balance is not a retirement paycheck. The system displays one large number while the decisions that give the number meaning live in different places: an expense worksheet, a social security record, a fee disclosure, a plan document, and a calendar Robert has never built. I call the cost of that fragmentation the retirement guesswork tax. It is not a government levy. It is a metaphor for planning loss created when a balance looks complete but the income translation, compounding assumptions, and dated actions remain disconnected. For Robert, the tax has three mechanisms: the income translation gap, the default compounding gap, and the runway execution gap. Across those mechanisms are 10 brutal lessons. None of them say Robert is lazy, stupid, or too late. They say the dashboard is not the plan. Every number in Robert's story is a fictional educational illustration, not a forecast, a guarantee, tax advice, or individualized investment advice. Robert is a quality engineer at a medical device plant in Indianapolis. His modeled gross pay is $98,000 a year. His modeled take-home pay is $5,600 per month after current payroll deductions, benefits, taxes, and his current workplace plan contribution. Actual take-home depends on filing status, benefits, location, and plan elections. His monthly household commitments total $4,700. That leaves $900 of reliable cash flow margin. He has $18,000 in cash and $214,000 in his workplace plan. Robert contributes $700 per month. His fictional employer contributes $300 after he satisfies the actual plan terms. The current model total entering retirement savings is $1,000 per month. These numbers are a planning snapshot, not Robert's complete household net worth. His home, vehicle, other assets, taxes in retirement, and any family obligations require separate facts. The first mechanism is the income translation gap. Lesson 1. A balance is not a paycheck. Robert can spend a monthly income. He cannot spend a dashboard balance repeatedly without a withdrawal policy. The United States Department of Labor requires many defined contribution statements to show lifetime income illustrations. Those illustrations convert an account balance into estimated monthly lifetime payments under prescribed assumptions. That is useful because it changes the unit from a pile of money to a monthly scale. But the Department of Labor also makes clear that the illustration is not a guarantee. It uses assumptions. It does not know Robert's full household, future contributions, future returns, taxes, or actual retirement choices. Robert pulls his latest statement and records the plan's actual lifetime income illustration. He does not invent one from a social media rule. Lesson 2. Future dollars are not today's dollars. Robert drafts retirement spending at $4,100 per month in today's dollars. He includes housing, food, utilities, transportation, insurance, healthcare, taxes, and support for anyone who may still depend on him. The amount is personal and incomplete until he checks a full year of real spending. For one scale test, he assumes constant 3% inflation for 17 years. $4,100 multiplied by 1.03 to the 17th power is approximately $6,777 per month. That does not predict inflation. It does not say every category rises at 3%. It shows why a current dollar expense and a future dollar balance cannot be compared without a label. The Department of Labor's retirement planning worksheets also separate today's expenses, inflation-adjusted future expenses, projected income, and any gap. The system already provides the pieces. Robert's blocker is putting them on one page. Lesson 3. The expense number must belong to the household. A generic replacement ratio does not know whether Robert's mortgage ends, whether healthcare changes, whether he supports a parent, or whether his spouse has income. Robert uses 12 months of statements. Quarterly bills are divided by 12. Irregular costs receive a monthly reserve line. One-time guesses stay visibly separate. The income translation sheet does not need false precision. It needs traceable inputs. Lesson 4. A lifetime income illustration is a scale, not a promise. Robert writes the illustration's data and assumptions beside the monthly number. He does not add it to another estimate until both numbers use a compatible basis. Lesson 5. Social Security must come from Robert's record. The Social Security Administration says a personal My Social Security account provides estimates based on a worker's earnings and lets the worker compare claiming ages. Robert checks his earnings record first. Then he records his personalized estimates at 62, at his full retirement age, and at 70. For people born in 1960 or later, full retirement age is 67 under current law. That makes 67 a useful marker for Robert. It does not force him to stop work that day or claim benefits that day. The estimate can change if future earnings change or the law changes. Robert labels it estimate, current law, and personal earnings record. Now he has 4 separate lines: current dollar spending, a labeled future dollar test, the plan's lifetime income illustration, and his personalized Social Security estimate. He has not solved retirement. He has stopped pretending unlike numbers are one answer. That blocks the income translation gap. The second mechanism is the default compounding gap. Lesson 6. A contribution default is not a savings target. Robert's $700 employee contribution happened because that was the election he made years ago. It was never tested against an age 67 income gap. The default is not evil. It is simply answering a different question. What is entering the account now? Robert needs another question. What range might this path produce under explicit assumptions? He models $214,000 as the initial investment, $1,000 per month, 17 years, and monthly compounding. At an estimated 5% annual rate, the illustration reaches approximately $820,326. At an estimated 7% annual rate, it reaches approximately $1,091,134. The difference is approximately $270,808. That difference is not upside Robert has earned. It is assumption sensitivity. Markets do not deliver a fixed line, and both paths are before any unmodeled taxes or changes. Investor.gov's compound interest calculator asks for the initial investment, monthly contribution, time, estimated rate, and compounding frequency. Estimated is the most important word on the screen. Lesson 7. Employer money depends on actual plan terms. Robert's story models $300 per month from his employer only after he satisfies the fictional plan rules. Real plans vary. The contribution formula, eligibility, vesting, investment options, and timing must come from the actual plan document. Robert opens that document instead of repeating the phrase free money without reading the conditions. Lesson 8. 1 percentage point can become a 6-figure model gap. The Securities and Exchange Commission's Investor.gov warns that fees and expenses reduce the amount left in a portfolio to earn returns. Small ongoing percentages can have a major long-term effect. Robert runs a sensitivity test. It is not a quote for his actual fees. Using the same $214,000, $1,000 per month, 17 years, and monthly compounding, a 6% net growth illustration reaches approximately $945,188. A 5% net growth illustration reaches approximately $820,326. The 1 percentage point difference is approximately $124,863. This does not mean Robert is paying 1%. It does not mean every fee is deducted exactly like this model. It means the percentage deserves translation into dollars. Department of Labor participant disclosures can show administrative costs, individual charges, and investment fees and expenses. Fund prospectuses and plan comparison charts provide other cost details. Robert records each verified percentage, flat charge, and source document. If he does not understand a fee, he asks the plan administrator or investment professional to explain it before changing anything. Lesson 9. One return assumption is not a forecast. Robert keeps the 5% and 7% illustrations side by side. He adds the contribution amount, fee assumption, tax caveat, and calculation date. He does not call the larger number his future balance. He calls both numbers planning ranges under fixed assumptions. Robert then tests in action. From his $900 monthly margin, he preserves $300 for irregular cash needs. He investigates whether a $600 increase in retirement saving fits his planned terms, current contribution limits, tax treatment, and actual first paycheck cash flow. The model total contribution becomes $1,600 per month. With the same $214,000, 17 years, and monthly compounding, the 5% illustration becomes approximately $1,012,640. The 7% illustration becomes approximately $1,325,209. Compared with the $1,000 monthly path, The model difference is approximately $192,315 at 5% and approximately $234,076 at 7%. Those are not guaranteed gains. They show how an assigned contribution changes the inputs Robert controls. Robert does not submit the change until he confirms the plan, keeps the cash reserve appropriate for his household, and sees the real paycheck effect. That blocks the default compounding gap. Default becomes document, range, and deliberate election. The third mechanism is the runway execution gap. Lesson 10. A runway with outdated actions is still guesswork. Robert has 17 years until the age 67 marker. A calendar with no tasks will consume all 17. He creates a runway calendar. This week, he completes one income translation sheet with source dates. This month, he opens the participant fee disclosure, the investment comparison chart, and the employer contribution section of the plan. After the next payroll change, he checks the real pay stub instead of trusting a tax guess. Once each year, he refreshes spending, Social Security earnings, the lifetime income illustration, contribution amounts, fees, beneficiaries, and household facts. By age 60, he schedules a withdrawal policy review. That review must address how spending will be funded when paychecks stop, how taxes may affect withdrawals, how allocation matches risk capacity, and how the household responds if poor market returns arrive near the first withdrawals. Research on sequence of returns risk supports a narrow point. When withdrawals interact with portfolio returns, the order of returns can affect the outcome. It does not prove that every retiree needs the same cash buffer. It does not produce one universal withdrawal rate. It does not tell Robert to copy Berkshire Hathaway. Robert's future policy must use his spending flexibility, income sources, taxes, health, time horizon, assets, risk capacity, and professional guidance if he needs it. The calendar blocks the runway execution gap because every unresolved planning question gets an owner, a source, and a date. Now the 10 lessons form one defense system. A balance is not a paycheck. Future dollars are not today's dollars. The expense draft belongs to the household. The lifetime income illustration is a scale, not a guarantee. Social Security starts with a personal earnings record. A contribution default is not a target. Employer money depends on plan terms. 1 percentage point must be translated into dollars. One return assumption is not a forecast. And a runway requires dated actions. Robert is still 50. He still has $214,000 in retirement, $18,000 in cash, and 17 years to the age 67 marker. Nothing magical happened to the balance. What changed is the system around it. Pressure became analysis. Analysis became a set of documents, ranges, and dates Robert can control. If you are between 38 and 52, do not begin by asking whether your balance is good. Begin with 3 files. File 1, Income Translation. Record today's retirement spending draft, 1 clearly labeled inflation test, the actual lifetime income illustration, and your personalized Social Security estimates. Do not combine unlike dollar bases. File 2, Compounding Range. Record the balance, contribution, employer terms, verified fees, 2 estimated return assumptions, and every caveat. File 3, Runway Calendar. Choose 1 action this week, 1 annual review date, and 1 date for withdrawal policy work before withdrawals begin. Do not copy Robert's dollar amounts. Copy the evidence trail. The retirement guesswork tax survives when one large balance is allowed to answer 10 different questions. It loses power when every question gets the right unit, the right document, and a date. The next invisible tax begins when a household has enough income to look stable, but every raise disappears into fixed costs before retirement receives a vote.